Hello and welcome once again, as I said before, to the show of all shows. We have an actual live matchmaker. People don't even think they exist today in the common era with love.com and eHarmony and Match and all these other love sites. We're going to have a blast from the past that's still surviving, and not only surviving, thriving in today's economy. So we'll be speaking to her. Her name, by the way, is Dr. Gabby Love, and we'll have her on. But before that, we're going to take you live to a church. And this is just to show you that miracles do happen every day. So we're going to be there at the church. This is a great thing. He's kind of like a Hugh Hefner type. Nobody ever thought this guy would actually get married. But stay tuned. We're bringing it to you live right here on the Tony V Show. So right now, I'm going to take you to our correspondent, Chico V. He's my cousin, Tony V's cousin, Chico. And he's going to tell you exactly what's going on. He looks like me, by the way. This is Chico V, Tony V's cousin. I know we look alike. We got strong sperm in our family, but I'm not Tony V. This is Chico, and I'm right here at the Church of the Miracles, where an actual international playboy has got himself tied down by the woman of his dreams. You're about to witness it live on Tony V's Seen It. Let's take it away. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join Jimbo Bobolinsky and Robert Reeks in holy matrimony. From this day forward, to have and to hold, for better or for worse, in richer and poorer, in good times and bad times, to honor and to obey. Do you vow to be understanding, Robin, even in the face of adversity? You know what I mean? Like when he has his homeboys over, hanging out, eating up all your food. Yeah, he looks like that type. You know, you, madam, will you still love and honor him when, you know, in the one-bedroom apartment, smoking and drinking, and some of them eyeballing you with bad intentions? You know, he looks like that type. Will you still love and cherish him? And you, Jimbo, yes, sir, you, how will you feel when your woman is flirting with someone else right in front of your eyes, and you catch her and she still denies it, lying to your face with that sweet smile, thinking that all she has to do is give you sex and you're okay with whatever she does, in good times and in bad times, mostly bad? And you, Robin, will you still be loyal when he comes home late with the smell of cheap perfume on? Are you ready? Will you be a doting child, a doting father? Or will you be one of those miserable fathers that just can't seem to get his message across? No delivery skills, message, stumbling and bumbling, mumbling and stumbling, fumbling as he merrily goes along his way like an impotent postman, message marked unreceivable. Or will you be one of those miserable fathers that just leave their kids to the ruins? What's it going to be, Jimbo? Anyways, as you can see, this is a wonderful day. And will you still be caring when he's out gallivanting around, spending the rent money, you know? And you, Jimbo, will you be understanding when she's flirting with the pool guy, the cable guy, and the butcher? Will you have enough love in your heart to overlook these things? You know, this is what marriage is all about, people. You know, love is also long-suffering. Look it up. It says it in the Bible. And now, for the best part of the marriage ceremony, you know, we have to make sure that you are a healthy couple, because most couples want to bear fruit, and the fruit of all marriage is children. Yes? Do we both agree? Just shake your heads. I know you're not that smart. Yes. Okay, you'll get your chance. Now, we must make sure that the female is in proper health. Would you turn around, please, madam? Take a look at that, buddy. You're going to live with that for the rest of your life. You want that? No, no touching. All right. Open your mouth, darling. Let's take a look here. Yes, let me see that. There you go. Oh, she's gonna. You might have an infection there, darling. I don't know. You've been kissing the mailman a little bit. And you, sir, put your arm up, please. See, arm up, please. Look, he can't even lift his arm up. You expect this guy to bring you children? Look, he's in pain. He's in agony. What kind of marriage is this? But I guess you love each other. You love each other, right? Okay, I get it. So, are you really ready? Here we go. So, Jimbo, Bobolinsky. Do you really want a last name like Bobolinsky? You know, do you take this woman, and I say that mildly, to be your lawfully wedded girl, lady, hoochie mama, love interest, my boo-boo, and other sweet names that are derivatives of love? Think about it, Jimbo. Now you, Robin Reeks. Yeah, she reeks. Robin, do you take Jimbo over here? Looks like he just got out of the rehab, you know that? You know, to be your lawful wedded husband, even when he's spending all the money on the cocaine and things of that sort. Will you still honor and treat him like a man, even though he doesn't treat himself like a man? Will you love and cherish him, irregardless, without prejudice, mind you? You know, this is what you guys are getting into. I want you to think about it. Think about it hard and long before you make this decision. 50% of marriages end up in divorce, you know. We cannot, we don't want to waste the court's time, or, you know, we don't want to have illegitimate children along the way. I want you to think about what love really means, and then in 5 minutes, we'll make that decision. Jimbo, I know what you're thinking. You know, you go down to the house for that. The house will be with you. So, if anyone in this audience has any disagreements, as we see, there's nobody in the audience, so that means nobody really wants you guys to get together, but it's none of my business. If anyone in this audience has anything to say for this lovely couple, let them speak now or forever hold their tongue. One, going once, going twice. Can I get an amen? Can I get a something? All right, going 3 times. So, I now pronounce you With all that being said, I now pronounce you man and, just a minute, hold on.
There seems to be a huddle going on. They're talking about it. They're thinking about it. Weirder things have been done. And no, it's a no-go. It's a no-go, ladies and gentlemen. They're making a smart decision to possibly postpone this engagement. Would I be correct in assuming that you're going to postpone it? Ah, smart people. And by the way, my dearest, I do have classes in couples counseling. I could see you later. Okay. Mr. Belinsky, I think I hear some sirens. Is that for you? Yeah, just as I thought. Oh, there he goes. Oh, ho, ho. Another one bites the dust. I knew they wasn't going to last. I've seen them time and again and again. I just knew they wasn't going to last.
Sometimes other people can influence you in ways that you just can't imagine. If you don't have a strong resolve, this is what happens. So, speaking of love and commitments, as I said before, we have someone here who is an expert in that field. And with the snap of a finger, she'll appear before you because this is Tony V's Seen It.
Woo!
And here she is, live. It's Dr. Gabby Love. Welcome, Dr. Love.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Now, there's so many questions one thinks of when one thinks of a matchmaker. You know, this has been something that's been going on, I guess, since the beginning of times or since the beginning of couples. And how did you come to find your way into this field of matchmaking?
Well, I did study marriage and family counseling in a Master's of Arts program, and my clients threw me into it by suggesting that they wanted me to get them dates versus working so much on their love lives.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so hence Love Match Corporation derived out of their requests.
All right, excellent. I mean, sometimes some of the best businesses come just like with an overnight idea. You know, these are one of the things that we're very fortunate to have in this day and age. Now, what are your credentials in this field? You said you were studying for your doctorates at this point?
Yeah, well, right now I'm actually finishing a Master's of Science in Industrial Organizational Psychology to prepare me better for research in the doctorate level. Nice. I intend to prove or show correlations. You can't really prove a theory, but I have theories in love, particularly in marital satisfaction and personality types.
Wow, I like the way you said marital satisfaction.
It's needed, right? Yeah. I mean, divorce rates are up to 51 plus right now. So the more we can figure that out, I think the happier marriages can be.
Oh, of course, of course. I'm going to throw you a boomerang now. What do you think about polygamy? Is that a type of marriage that, or no comment, or what do you think?
You know, I do have some clients, mostly in the West Coast, that consider themselves polyamorous.
Okay.
I even recently had a female in her 20s that considers herself polyamorous on the West Coast. So this is becoming a little bit more popular. Yeah. Polyamorous. Polygamy, though, is still illegal in our country. So that's not going to be allowed here anytime soon.
Yeah, well, like all good things, sooner or later,
Many of you men wish it was probably legal, I'm sure.
5 wives are yelling, I don't know.
Good point.
I mean, yeah, the ego is a strange thing, especially the male ego. But let me ask you, being that you are into this business of matchmaking and love arrangements and things of that sort, do you have any success stories you'd like to share with us?
Yes, actually I've been having new matchmaking parties in New York, and they are expanding into Los Angeles this year. And I've been having great success in those. Typically each party I set up 15 to 20 couples, and no one meets each other until they show up at the restaurant, to meet each other for the first time.
Very
And everyone has been enjoying their dates tremendously. Chemistry sometimes is hard for me to be able to foresee, and but I have the last matchmaking party, 4 of them are in relationships, and to me that's a very high success rate.
That's very high. Out of 20?
Yeah.
That's almost like, what is that, like 25%?
Yeah.
Off the top. That's very good.
Yeah, for one time, yeah.
And why do you think they would choose your services as opposed to going on Match.com or eHarmony or some of those other lesser sites like Slut.com?
Wow, I haven't even heard of that one. Yeah. Wow. Thanks for telling me.
I don't use that one. I just made that up, people.
Well, I am a psychologist by trade, and so my matchmaking is a little bit more deliberate and intentional, and I do some basic preliminary psychological testing for people coming into the company. And I try to matchmake by personality types, sexual strategy type, which is, these are all questions I asked during the intake session, and also the attachment style. Because what I have found through the marriage and family counseling work and working with people in relationships is that those 3 credentials can actually raise the opportunity for success in their personal love lives.
Very interesting. Have you found any couples that were like on the verge of like obliterating each other, and were you able to like turn them around? And
yes, I'm really good at teaching couples how to bring more sexy, fun, loving joy into their lives.
I like the way you say that.
Well, you know, we all know how to be the perfect mate. And we all that have been married, somebody wanted to marry us because we were the perfect mate to them at one point. Yes. No one chooses to get married unless they think they're marrying the perfect person. So if we can stay in that energy, which I call sexy, fun, loving joy, our relationships don't ever have to suffer drastically. What happens is we get lazy or unconscious, and we start to change our behavior into something that our mate doesn't feel is so wonderful anymore. Yeah. So I feel with a little intention and work, we can get everyone back to that point. Yeah, communication too is another big one that some people need. They get a little they steer away from what they know works. Yeah. And you know, it just takes a little focus to get back to that.
Like getting complacent, you're saying.
Sure.
And they take each other for granted sometimes.
Right.
That's a big one as well.
Right. Or nitpicking or questioning, and it's just bringing back to remembering what you really fell in love with and why that person was so spectacular. To begin with, I feel if they were that at one point, they can come back to that.
I'm sure. I'm sure. That's positive. I like the way you said that term. What was it? Sexy, crazy, fun, loving?
I didn't put crazy in there, but of course you Trump crazy. Guys. I call you guys Trumps. Sexy, fun, loving joy.
Sexy, fun, loving joy. I
That's
like that.
My favorite program that I've created is the Sexy, Fun, Loving Joy program.
Sounds like a Justin Timberlake record. Hey, Justin, if you're listening, you might have your next hit. Sexy, fun, loving joy. Yeah. All right. So with all that, I mean, there's a couple of things still on my mind with the matchmaking business. Now, let's say you hook up some people and they turn out on paper to be the perfect match for each other, but when they get together, it just doesn't work. Have you ever had people just say, I want my money back?
I offer full refunds on all my services because I believe I'm as good as I say I am. And fortunately, thus far, I've never had a request for a refund.
Oh, great. That's good. That's a good track record. And tell us a little bit more about yourself. Were you raised in the tri-state area?
I was raised in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and I lived there till I was 6. And my dad's American, and my mom is Brasileira.
Wow.
So I felt that was a good mixture to experience growing up. Yeah, and I just got asked to be a host on a new show that's going to be filmed in Rio de Janeiro called Olympic Dating.
Beautiful.
So, and it's going to be about taking love enterprises down there to Rio de Janeiro because I am including many different cities for the matchmaking because a lot of people are willing to travel to meet potentially the partner of their life.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. You ever see these, I'm sure you're aware of it, where they have RussianBrides.com, Asian brides, and You know, I'm the kind of guy, I'm like, well, hey, they're offering, can I get a 2-for-1 deal or something like that? Give me 2 brides for the price of 1, you know.
Typical male thinking, we love you for it.
What do you think about those kind of things, though? I mean, you can sign on, and are those, just your opinion? I mean,
I think there's a value and a benefit for everyone in certain areas, and so I'm very non-judgmental. And for somebody who's fed up, and maybe they just know, you know, for men, attraction is so important. And if they know they're attracted to a certain kind of woman, then that can be an efficient, valuable service for them. Just go straight to the Russians or straight to the Latinas, whatever it is that it is. And those are women that are actually wanting to get married. And if it's third world involved, there is a value for them to marry an American that can upgrade their life. And so I think that it is a service that a lot of people are wanting to have.
Yeah, I mean, like everything else, I mean, you have the people that are very sincere, and then you have other people that have ulterior motives involved in it.
Right. I think through my love coaching work, I teach all of us to edit our choices accordingly. And so I don't blame anyone if they are ignorant enough to get themselves in an unhappy love relationship, because I blame all of us, because that means that we didn't edit our choices accordingly during the dating process.
Yeah, that means like they just picked whoever was available.
Right, or somebody who's very pretty and then it ends up being a nightmare. You gotta do, I say you gotta go through at least 4 seasons with somebody before you get married to them.
That's putting it mildly. Yeah, 4 seasons, not 4 days, not 4 hours, Brittany, not 4 hours. Well, that was a while back. I still love you. Now, what advice would you have, like, to give to, like, let's say a guy his marriage is going soft and he doesn't have that spice anymore, not go and dial 911, Cialis or Viagra. I mean, what would you tell a guy like that to try to
bring his
rekindle?
wife over to me for some love coaching, because I have different programs like the Sexy Fun Loving Joy. I also have Dating Like a Rock Star. I have Sexy Love, different ones where I actually work with her into what I call love games, and my love games are high energy games of not messing with somebody's mind or manipulating a man badly, but love games to spice up a love affair and to bring that sexiness back in. So we can do it through texting, through email, through touching, through how she acts at the dinner table, and a little conscious intention and some fun love games can bring a lot of spice back into a stale love life.
It certainly can. Just the title, Love Games, it sounds fun right away.
Love with 2 V's.
Yeah, there it is. Love games, people. So check out some love games. I mean, what about role playing and stuff like that? Does that play part of it?
Some people are really into it. That's where we get into the different sexual strategy types. And some men, or some women are going to be really into that. The important thing is to get to know your lover and their preferences. And as a good lover, we all want to please our lovers. So it might not be something that's so great. Like, I don't love to dress up in the bedroom, but if my man requests it, you know, I don't mind doing that every now and then just to make it a funner night for him. I end up being rewarded at the end of it. He feels closer to me, and he does more. He might bring me flowers the next day, or we cuddle in bed extra long that morning. So I do receive benefits as well.
That's very nice. Yeah. Okay. And the same thing, I guess, applies to women as well. If they're in a similar situation, what can they do to, like, bring their, I guess, the love games thing and the coaching?
Right. Yes, and it's definitely with intention. What I do is I figure out, my passion is marital satisfaction and personality types. So at my level of education, I know a lot about personality types. So what I do is I figure out your partner of choice's personality style, personality type, and I teach you how to communicate with her that she hears you better, or that she finds you sexier. I literally, sometimes with some of my clients, I tell them exactly what to text their partner, what questions to ask. I have a lot of single guys I work with in New York right now in the finance industry, and they'll be at a bar or at an event texting me going, what do I say to her? Wow. And I'll tell them exactly what to ask to get the woman's interest, and they'll be like, oh my God, I never got a woman of this status before. And the personality typing can go a long way in getting to know someone in that regard.
All right, you heard it here, people. Call 911, Dr. Love. Take care of your love needs and desires. It's a good thing. All right. I'm sure you have a website of something.
Yeah, GabbyLove.com, GABILOVVE.com.
Double V for love.
Yes.
.com. Okay, and that's your website.
That's my website, and anyone can email me on there. And also my Love Office 888 number is there, and that's 888-854-7488.
7488. Okay. All right. And now one question now that I have, I hope this doesn't make you feel too uncomfortable. Do you have a certain technique of kissing, and how do you, is there such thing as the perfect kiss? I mean, because everybody kisses differently. I mean, some people like it soft, some women like it, hard, and I guess is there like a perfect kiss in between, soft and hard, or?
I would, for safety measures, as the man, ideally the man's always going to approach in for the kiss the first time. I think, now some dates are going to get extra hot extra quickly, and if it goes that way, may have to go with it. But the safe measure would be to never go hard on a first date. In fact, if possible, because if a woman feels she's not sure if you're that interested, you actually ups your game a bit. So what I teach my men contenders is the best formula on the first date kiss I have found is a kiss on the lips, soft, maybe like a slight, 20-second, like a little something extra special than a quick peck. And not on the cheek. And try to leave the tongue out the first time. And just start slow that way, because she's going to be wondering whether or not you like her, but that kiss on the lips is going to confuse any woman. And that wins you points. A lot of women are used to being chased and all that, so somebody who wants to ram their tongue down their throat the first meeting is not going to catch their eye as much as somebody who leaves a little mystery.
Mystique about it. Okay. Good lesson. You hear that, guys? Just go for the 20-second kiss, just on the lips. Don't try to stick your tongue down her throat, And for you degenerates, it's the lips you're kissing, the upper lips, okay? Let's get it right. Okay.
And 2 minutes, 2 seconds even realistically, because when we're in there, we can't sit there for 20 seconds. But what my point was, a little something longer than a quick peck. Something a little more romantic.
Timing is everything.
Yes.
That's good.
In the initial stages. The first 3 months, we all have to kind of prove ourselves to our chosen lover.
The honeymoon phase. Wow, it sounds like really something. So any of you guys out there, or ladies who want to take Dr. Love's love classes, you can. And Gabby, so nice to have you here on the show, and much success to you. And when you get down to Rio de Janeiro, just hey, I'm willing to go if you need an extra hand.
Awesome.
We'll do a Tony V Scene It down there. We're
that would be fun. Absolutely.
Excellent. And ladies and gentlemen, and now with a snap of a finger is right. Wow, impressive. What a lovely lady. Love doctor. Better than a witch doctor? I think so. Well, I wonder if she teaches kissing classes. That's the Tony V show for today. And remember, people, it's better to be hated for who you are than loved for who you're not. This is Tony V, and stay tuned for our next show.